today what we're talking about is calculating the volume of cylinders. Calculating the volume of cylinders. Before we get started, what you're going to need is a scientific calculator. So the scientific calculator that we're going to be using is a Desmo scientific calculator. I put this linked on Google Classroom on my website, or you could just type this in to your browser and access this calculator. Okay. So let's get started. So example 1, it says calculate the exact and estimated value of the following figure. Round your answer to the nearest hundredths place. So that's 2 decimal places. So the volume of a cylinder is V equals pi r squared times h. So here's what everything represents. V stands for volume. Pi is always approximately 3.14. R is the radius, and h is the height. So when we're trying to solve a problem like this, the way that I like to start these is with my just label V, pi, r, and h. Because I know I'm going to need every single one of those pieces of information, if possible. So I'm going just in order. So if I go to V, well, do I know what the volume is? Well, based off this description, it doesn't tell me anything but the volume. In fact, that's what I'm trying to find. So I'm putting a question mark because that's what I'm trying to find. Pi, well, I know that pi is always 3.14. So I'm going to write 3.14. Now, I want to find r. Well, if I look at this diagram, this cylinder, and I look at this one, r is always half of the total way across of that circle. So if I look, I know that this number right here will have to be r because it is halfway across. So my r, my radius, is going to be 2 centimeters. Next, my height, well, the height of the cylinder will be 5 centimeters. So I'm going to circle that. That'll be my height, so it'll be 5 centimeters. Once I have all those pieces of information, I'm going to substitute those into the formula. So before I continue, what I'm going to do is draw a T-chart. On the left side, put exact value. Right side, put estimated value. So when calculating volume, we have 2 different results. We have the exact and then the estimated. The exact is with pi. The estimated is without pi. So I'm write down the formula, and then now I'm going to substitute everything I know into this formula. So V will stay V because I don't know what that is. Pi is going to stay pi because I want to find the exact value. R is going to change into 2 because it's 2 centimeters. And h is going to change into 5 because it's 5 centimeters. After you do that, you just multiply and see what you get. So in this case, you would get, well, 2 times 2 is 4, times 5 is 20. So it would be equals 20 pi. So your volume would be V equals 20 pi centimeters cubed. So that would be the exact volume of this shape. To find estimated, well, just take this and rewrite it. And now, instead of pi, I'm going to change pi into 3.14 times 3.14. Now is a good time to pull out that calculator. So 20 times 3.14 and type it in. So it'd be 20 times 3.14. Oh, sorry about that. Times 3.14. And you get 62.8. So I'm going to take that answer and write it down. So what I have is V equals 62.80 centimeters cubed. Then that's it. All right, now going on to the next example. The next example is pretty much the same thing, but there's one key difference. Before I get started, let's write out V, then pi, R, and H. So these are all the things that I want to know and figure out. So V in this problem, or the volume, I still don't know. That's what I want to find, so I'll put a question mark. Pi is always 3.14. Okay. Now we get to the part that's a little bit different, is the radius. So if I look at this diagram, so the radius will typically be where the circle is. So this diagram shows a line going straight across, all the way across. Okay. So when that happens, that's actually the diameter. This is actually the diameter. It's a diameter. To find a radius, well, the radius is just half the diameter. So if the diameter is 10 inches, then that means that the radius will be 5 inches. So it'd be 5 inches. And then to find the height, well, the height is just the side of the cylinder, which in this case will be 6. So the height will be 6 inches. 6 inches. So once I have all that information, now I'm going to create my T-chart and substitute my values in. I'm going to need some more space, so boom. So we have our T-chart. We need the exact value and estimated value. You don't have to do it this way. It just sometimes problems will ask you for the exact value. Other times problems will ask you for the estimated value. So we're just doing both so that we get familiar with both. Okay, so I rewrote the formula. So now what we got to do is substitute all these values in. Well, V, I don't know. So I'm going to just keep it as V. So V. Pi, I want the exact value, so I'm going to keep it as pi. R, well, R is going to be 5 inches, so it'll be 5 squared. And then H will be 6. And then next thing, you just plug or substitute 5 squared times 6 into your calculator. So let me do that really quick, just to illustrate. So we have 5 squared times 6. So 5 squared times 6, you get 150. So I'm going to take that value and write 150. So it'll be 150 pi. So the volume will be 150 pi inches cubed. Never forget your units. And to the third power, it's inches cubed because it's a 3-dimensional object. So we're talking about volume. Then to find the estimated value, pretty much the same thing. Now I'm going to take this. I'm just going to rewrite it. And now I'm just going to replace pi with 3.14. So it'll be 150 times 3.14. Plug that into my calculator. So it'll be 150 times 3.14. So 150 times 3.14, and we get 471. So we get 471. So the volume is 471 inches cubed. That's it. So we have our estimated value and our exact value. So this is everything that we did. So that's the volume of cylinders.